Japan has deployed fighter jets after a Chinese military aircraft breached its airspace, the first time China's made such a move. Our reporter Jaime Ocon is live in Taipei with the latest. So Jaime, what happened? What do we know so far?
Well, Japan says that a Chinese Y-9 reconnaissance plane breached its airspace near the Daozhou Islands, that's near southwestern Japan. Now, this would be the first confirmed instance of China violating Japan's airspace. Now, Tokyo says it scrambled its own fighter jets and has summoned officials from the Chinese embassy to explain what happened. Now, that aircraft that I talked about, the Y-9, that's a military reconnaissance aircraft that's used to gather intelligence and to pretty much spy on what other countries are doing militarily. That kind of aircraft usually operates in Japan's ADIZ or Taiwan's ADIZ. That stands for Air Defense Identification Zone. Now, to be very clear, those ADIZs, those are military buffer zones, much different than territorial airspace. So Monday's instance of China breaching Japan's actual airspace, that's a pretty big deal. 2 years ago, here in Taiwan, there was concerns about what would happen if a Chinese military aircraft breached Taiwan's ADIZ and then went further and breached territorial airspace. The defense minister at that time said that that would be considered an act of war, a first strike, and Taiwan could shoot down that aircraft.
And Jaime, do we know why China was doing this? Could we be seeing more of this kind of action in the future?
Well, we haven't heard any official statement from the Chinese side, but observers in Japan say that this could have been a test to see how quick Japan can react and scramble its own fighter jets. That Y-9, that aircraft that I talked about, it breached Japan's airspace for about 2 minutes, so it was a very quick in and out. And to your second question, absolutely. I mean, people believe that given how complex and how congested the airspace is in this region, that we're bound to see more instances of this in the future. Just taking a look at the map, Taiwan's ADIZ, China's, Japan, and even South Korea's all overlap, and China has been increasing the amount of military activity in this region. Last year, Japan had to scramble more than 500 times to warn off Chinese aircraft in its ADIZ. And so far this year, Taiwan has reported more than 1,700 Chinese military aircraft in the region. Both of those numbers are record highs. So with this latest case, many analysts say that China is just going to keep up ramping up that military activity and those exercises across the region to see how countries in this area react.